Hey guys, so I wanted to show you how I cut John's hair. I've been doing it now for probably about 6 years on our own. The only time I haven't done it is when he was in basic training and tech school. He actually went and had it done on base down in Texas. But I just have a wall or whale, the WAHL, I think it is, buzzer, and it's corded because we've never had good luck with not corded clippers. So it is a corded, and right now you can see I am using the number 5 extension on his top, and he has such wavy hair that I have to go all directions. I have to go front to back, back to front, side to side, right to left, left to right. And also sometimes diagonal because his hair is so wavy when it's long that the clippers won't pick everything up if I'm going with the wave or even slightly with the wave. So I have to go front to back, back to front, as you can see. And I'm not quite sure why the light around us is changing, other than just the camera focusing, I guess. When I first started out, this took me forever to do, and now I can do a full haircut in about 13 minutes, is what the original video was. This is sped up a tiny, 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 tiny bit. But I have to go from the back to the front, and I do pretty much the whole top of his head. I don't worry about anything lower than the ears because I'll get that with a different extension. I try not to get it in his face a lot. He's sitting on one of our bar stools, and I have the trash can, the unlidded trash can behind him, so I just kind of try and drop as much hair as I can into the trash can. And again, front to back, just to make sure that I got all those silly waves. Okay, I'll turn the buzzer off, and now I'm putting on a extension number 2, I believe we used. He does the longer on the top and the almost completely buzzed on the sides. And I will go up, and of course I started on the wrong side. I will go up just to his T, where his bangs meet the top of his head, and I'll make a line around like you see I'm doing. I'm not doing all the way down to the bottom of his neck yet. I'm just going up, and I'm making sure that I make that line right there where it's going to transition into his longer hair, where I use the longer extension. And here now you can see where I do that and how I go around his ears. The more you do this, the faster you'll get, the more you'll know how the clippers work and what extensions you use and what works best, which direction you have to go, and all of that. You'll just fine tune it to how you need it, and you can do it in about 10 to 15 minutes. And then I go down from his line, and then he looks down, and now I go from the bottom of his neck to the top, just to clean that up. He was having his hair done professionally when we first got together, and then I'm not quite sure when we made the transition, but I just know that one time he was like, hey, I bet you could, buzz my hair. And at first I didn't like doing it, and I didn't know how to do it, and he was super picky about how he wanted it done. So I kind of got irritated with it. But now he's like, hey, babe, I need a haircut. And I'm like, okay, go get the clippers. We can knock it out in about 10 minutes. Okay, now I'm putting on one of the ear extensions, and I'll go around both ears the opposite direction, whatever direction is the shorter side closest to the ear. So this is obviously the right ear extension. And I go from front to back on the left ear and back to front on the right ear, and then I'll switch to the left ear extension, and I'll do it the opposite. The military is very strict. He can't have any hair touching the top of his ears, so that's why I do around the top of his ears with both extensions. And now I've taken the extensions off, and I'm cleaning it up even more on top of his ear with just the clipper head. And you can see how I do his sideburns. I kind of line them up with a certain point on his ear, and I go down and up. And then he's got these frillies in the front, like you just saw me kind of go up on the front of his head. He's got these little frillies, we call them his wings, that the buzzer with the extension doesn't get. So I just clip those real fast, finishing up around his ears. And then I comb down the back of his neck, and I will clean that up with the closed buzzer head. Buzzer. I call it a buzzer. It's a clipper with the closed clipper head. And I'll go down his neck also with this. But I make sure that he's got a nice crisp clean line on the back of his neck. And John actually clips Tyron's hair when Tyron needs a haircut. So Ty got a new haircut, and I didn't even think of filming it. So next time we do it. But I think we did an extension 8 on Tyron's top, and then an extension 2 on his sides, because he really wanted to spike it and do the faux hawk and all that. So now we're putting the clipper away, and I kind of look and see to make sure I got all of those silly flyaways. And I think, if I remember correctly, right in the middle, yep, I put the 5 back on. And we always joke, because one time I put the shorter extension on, and without thinking, I did the top of his head. So he had a complete buzz cut that time. We had a good laugh and cry about it. It could have been on America's Funniest Home Videos. So I'll just go over his top again. And I think this time I was getting a lot more, and I'm not quite sure why. And we've tried clean hair, not clean hair. It doesn't matter. He's just got super swirly hair. And you just have to hit it from all directions. And I was getting frustrated because he had like at the top of his head, he had long pieces that just were not trimming. And again, I apologize for the light going yellow. That is so weird to me. But we were doing this at night with the fluorescence on, so it's got to be something with the focus. So now we're all done, and I will go around his head and show you. You can't even really see that line, but it's there. Where it just transitions from short hair to long hair, and that is how he wears his hair for work in Air Force. Thanks for watching.